Shalom, shalom wa ahaba, mishpaka, shalom wa ahaba. Peace and love, family, peace and love. It's your Agnaraya ben Ayaunde, Nerea ben Yahuda ben Yasharel. Whatever your dialect may be, may I say shalom to you all, to the whole house of Yasharel, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, to wherever we've been driven to the lands of our captivity. I pray the Most High Yah, Bahashem Yahushua, who the world has come to know as Christ, finds you all in peace, love, and safety in this time of judgment, chaos, corruption, and deliverance for the people of the Most High Yah. Hallelujah. Mishpachah, I want to have a public service announcement as we enter this so-called election season in these divided states of wickedness in America. And I see them parading government tools and sellouts like Barack Hussein Obama in front of our people, trying to convince our people to keep shooting ourselves in the foot politically by voting for people, politics, and politicians that keep us in poverty. You understand? And when men like Barack Obama, who I know is not the same bloodline as my people here in these divided states of America, but who they have thrown into the black box and used to manipulate my people to keep voting for these Democrats who have us living in some of the worst conditions in America. Now, I pay attention to the blood and the bloodline. You understand, Mr. Picard? And those of us who understand that they threw everybody in the black box so that people couldn't figure out that the black people of the earth, many of us are tribally different. You understand? And that men like Obama and myself, we don't even come from the same bloodlines. You understand? We are not the same people. And it makes sense to me that a so-called Negro has yet to rise to the level of president in this country. You got somebody that they got you thinking are black like you, but he's not black like us. You understand, Mr. Picard? And this is why he pretty much goes out there and promotes so-called white privilege and so-called white supremacy in the form of blackface. Because you and I both know Barack Hussein Obama ain't never did a darn thing for black people in this country other than giving us a symbol of tokenism. You understand? In order to keep us in our state of docility and up under the original party of slavery, the Democratic Party. But I want to talk to you about his tribal lineage. Now, those of us that understand that the people who descend from slavery in this country, we come, the bulk of us, 90 some odd percent of us come from an ethnic group in Africa called the Bantu speaking ethnic group. You understand, Mr. Picard? This is where you find the people in the Congo and Angola and in Western, Central, some in Eastern Africa, you know, the Bantu speaking ethnic group of sub-Saharan Africa. That is where 90 some odd percent of you descend from. And those are the Israelites who always migrated into Africa. You understand? Over time. But we're not going to get into all that right now. We're just going to talk about the blood. Now, we are Bantu speaking people. Barack Obama comes from a tribe. His father, Barack Obama Sr., is from I have it here, he's from the Nilotic people, or the Luau tribe, or the Luo tribe, the Lao tribe. You understand? Sleek off for my people on the continent if I'm pronouncing that wrong. It's Luo, Luo, but they're Nilotic people. Now, the Nilotic people are indigenous to the Nile Valley who speak Nilotic languages. Then they give you a list of all the places in Africa where these people are: South Sudan, Ethiopia, Uganda, Kenya, etc., etc. The Nilotes constitute the majority of the population of South Sudan, an area that is believed to be the original point of dispersal. After Bantu peoples, they constitute the second most numerous group of peoples inhabiting the Great Lakes region around the Eastern Rift. See, so even with you finding out who the Luo tribe is and what Nilotic people is, they tell you even in the explanation of the people that them and Bantu people are two different bloodlines of people. He not black like we. You understand? Which makes sense to me why you see the differentiation and the separation that exists within this guy. But there's also things when you go into the past of a person and you look at, well, who was his father in Africa? Well, come to find out, if you dig deep enough, you will see that Barack Hussein Obama's father was in direct conflict with men like Jomo Kenyatta. Jomo Kenyatta, who eventually became the president of Kenya. Now, I'm going to read one sentence to make you say that, okay, this is something to think about. Now, Jomo, we're going to just use Wikipedia. Jomo Kenyatta was a Kenyan anti-colonial activist and politician who governed Kenya as its prime minister from 1963 to 1964, and then as its first president from 64 to his death in 1978. So you got a guy who was in direct conflict with a man who ended up becoming president, but a man who was against colonialism. So if you were in direct conflict with somebody that's against colonialism, more than likely that means you was what? Huh? I digress. So, Mr. Picard, I just want the people to know and understand. When you see men like Barack Obama get out there and try to tell our people that we better off now than we were 2 years ago, in order to try to convince our people to keep voting ourselves into the poorhouse, you understand? Then you are a part of the problem, and you are why I do not identify with men like Barack Obama. First and foremost, you ain't one of us. You ain't one of us. They used you to trick us. That is what Barack Obama is. He is a tool of the oppressor and the enemy. He is smoke and mirrors, Ms. Picard. Because anybody out there trying to convince you to keep voting for these daggone Democrats who got my taxes in a city like Portsmouth almost twice as high than my neighboring communities, neighboring counties, like out there where my brother is staying outside of the city, ain't paying a third of what we paying in property taxes in a city that's ran by these so-called black Democratic politicians. You understand, Mr. Picard? We have yet to have a Negro president in America. They gave you Barack Obama, but he ain't black like you. You understand me that? You understand me, Ms. Picard? And with that, I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here. And always remember to keep the fire burning. A little more oil in my lungs. Hallelujah. Keep your eyes open, Ms. Picard. Stay prepared so you don't have to get prepared. And always remember that your redemption is near. You understand me, Ms. Picard? Kumar, Yasharel. Kwam, Yasha'Allah. Rise, Yisrael. Shalom, Shalom. Salama, Ms. Picard. Hallelujah.